Welcome to The Pleasure Priority with me, your host, Amber Taylor. This is the podcast focused on putting you first because let's be real, sis, settling just ain't it. So every episode, we're exploring your relationships, aka the ways in which you relate to everything around you so that you can improve your quality of life. Whether it's your relationship with yourself, your family, your friends, a partner, your job, or even how you relate to money, time, your body, whatever. We're diving deep into how you can curate your relationships to get the most joy and fulfillment from life without compromise. So, to my friends ready to prioritize your pleasure and never settle again, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. You are valuable simply for existing. Your time is a privilege. Your work is necessary. Your input is invaluable. Your pros outweigh your cons. The way that your brain works is absolutely beautiful. And your worth is not something that you have to earn. All right, y'all, just ripping the Band-Aid off and jumping right into it because we are anti-settling over here and you will not be engaging in that behavior on my watch. All right? So, welcome back to the podcast, my friends. Let's get into it. So, settling as I see it is when your wants, needs, expectations, and deepest desires are continuously not being met in any given relationship. And that can look a lot of different ways, like the job that's been stringing you along, promising you a promotion next time, next time, next time. It can look like that friend that is promising to accommodate you better and never does. It can look like that partner that refuses to love you in the way that you ask to be loved, no matter how simple you think it is. It's knowing that you need help and support and deciding to ignore it and push through anyway. It can look a lot of different ways, but the commonality is that when you settle, you have something just gnawing at your soul, at your joy, at your happiness from the inside out. It's not a pleasant experience. It actually has a lot of negative influences over your body and your overall health. We're thinking stress levels, chronic illnesses, mental health conditions, things of the like. So yeah, how much you settle actually has an effect on your health. And it's something that we know we don't really want. It's something that we talk about not doing, but it's also something that we end up doing without even really recognizing it or seeing it at first, if at all ever. So I've been thinking about some of the things that cause people to settle, and I wanted to share that list with you so you can better recognize some of the signals that you might be settling. For one, they believe that there aren't any other options. So one thing that I will say is no matter how dire the situation looks, you always have options. Are all of those options always the best case scenario? No, of course not. But you have options and you have choices, and you need to exercise that so you can actually make the choice that's best for you versus just allowing the choices to be made for you. Secondly, they believe that it's as good as it gets. Like whatever it is, that it's as good as it gets. And I'm a firm believer that even when it's good, it can be better, that it can always be better. There's no limit on possibility, including the way we feel, the way we operate, the way that we live our life. We have options. Again, we have options, and you don't have to settle for something just because you don't yet understand or see how it can be better for you. And thirdly, they think that it's what they deserve. And for every reason, there is some emotion, whether it be guilt, shame, disappointment, whatever, but something that makes them feel like they don't deserve more. They don't deserve better. They don't deserve happiness. They don't deserve what they actually want because of something they may have done or said in the past, or maybe just aspects or traits about them. And again, I'm here to remind you that that's simply not true. You deserve it. Of course, you deserve it. You deserve anything that you want because deservedness is subjective. The way our world works isn't of morality or even transaction. Most people have a different definition of deservedness and what allows someone to be deserving of something or not, which again makes it subjective, which means everybody can have a different idea of deservedness, which means everybody's right and everybody's wrong. You get to decide if you deserve something or not. It is purely up to you. And I want to remind you that if you want better, you deserve it, plain and simple. Now, all of these reasons, in my opinion, do stem from kind of the fourth reason, but that they still believe in the conditioning designed against them, and ultimately the different intersection points of the oppression that they've experienced has beat them into submission, has taught them how to stop wanting more for themselves, has detracted them from fighting for more because they've positioned it as a fight. But part of deconstructing oppression is unlearning deservedness. And then finally, for the people who are on that journey, who are practicing unlearning and reframing the harmful things that they were taught to believe about themselves that caused them to settle, when those people are still settling, what I find the most common reason is that they haven't increased their capacity to receive. Now, this is something that I have talked about on the podcast before and something that I will continue to talk about again. But essentially, the capacity to receive is your ability to withstand and accept goodness coming your way, where you don't think that it's transactional. Like if someone does something for you, then you just have to do something for them. You don't think that you're in debt if someone does something for you or gives you anything, whether it be money, a compliment, food, anything. When people have to like damn near fight you to show love to you and like, no, you are going to accept this. You are not going to pay me back. I'm going to hide your card so I can pay you for this. Like those people, they have not yet increased their capacity to receive. They haven't tempered their nervous system to be supported. It's a foreign feeling. It's unfamiliar. It's uncomfortable. So naturally, our brain defaults to pushing it away. Brain hates newness. It hates ambiguity, even if it's in our best interest, which is why we have to override our primitive brain and teach it how to operate in new ways and teach it how to increase our capacity to receive so we're able to accept all the good things that we want and that come our way. And we remove another hurdle that causes us to settle because we allow others and ourselves to show up and show out for us. Increasing your capacity to receive is a skill that's absolutely necessary in your journey to stop settling. And now I don't want y'all to get confused, so I'm going to say this explicitly. When I say stop settling, I'm not saying that you have to cut ties and scorch the earth. Of course, that's an option, but it's certainly not the only option and definitely not the option to start with in most cases. But when I say stop settling, I'm more so speaking to the work that comes before deciding what you're going to do about the settling. Because without that work, we can't make accurate decisions. So, first step, as always, is awareness. Actually knowing that it's going on. How do you do this? You build a connection with your body. You develop an understanding and you listen to the signals that it's giving you. Your body is very, very knowledgeable. It's not just your brain sending signals to your body, but also your body sending signals to your brain. Two-way communication, baby, two-way. So you have to listen when your body also gives you information for you to understand. And this can look a lot of different ways. It can look like butterflies, it can look like a sinking feeling, it can look like heat or pressure rising in your body. It can look or feel a lot of different ways. You just have to start building an awareness, just noticing and trusting that you're not crazy. It's not just a fleeting feeling, it's information for you to digest and process. Second part of the work is acknowledgement. So now that you know something's off, it's time to actually look at it versus sweeping it under the rug. Because if you continue to sweep shit under the rug, you will continue to settle. You will continue to settle on more and more and bigger and bigger. And then one day you're going to look around and be like, how did I even get here? How did my house get this messy? And it's because you didn't acknowledge that it was enough to do anything about it. And then step 3 is understanding. Where are the gaps between what you have now and what you want? What has allowed those gaps to manifest? When you look at each of those gaps, what's your biggest priority to change or fix? And also, arguably, maybe one of the most important steps, when you look at those gaps, where are you looking for somebody else to fill a hole that's actually your responsibility to fill? And finally, rising up out of the situation. So I developed a matrix to help you qualify what to actually change about your relationships to improve them. And it's based on 4 pillars: R, I, S, and E, aka rise. So the R is reliable. Reliability is making sure that the relationship is something that you can count on, or honestly, understanding what you can count on that relationship for. Remembering that everybody can't be everything to us, and they're not supposed to be. So, understanding who fits into what role and ensuring their reliability in the ways that you need. I. An I is for emotional intelligence, and kind of just intelligence in general, because it's about making smart decisions for you, as well as developing your own skill set with your own emotional intelligence, and also developing the capacity to recognize other people's levels and experience with emotional intelligence, and if they have the capacity to even understand and meet your needs. And S is security, because we always need to feel safe and secure, as well as build secure connections in our relationships. So, no matter what type of attachment style that you have had or come from, how to create secure attachments in your relationships moving forward. And finally, the E is excitement. It's the fun, it's the energy, it's the adventure, it's the spontaneity, and it's what all of us require to add the spice to life. So, making sure that each of your relationships is exciting for you in some kind of capacity. And when I work with my clients within this matrix, they learn how to take the necessary actions to fill those gaps holistically and sustainably. And that looks a lot of different ways depending on the client, but usually a lot of honest conversations, boundary setting, healing, inner child work, reassigning roles and responsibility, a little bit of delegation, and the list goes on and on. But this is my specialty. This is what I love helping people with. Finding the gaps in their life, finding where their needs aren't being met, helping them see that they do deserve so much more and they don't have to earn it first, helping them draw out the path from where they are now to exactly what they want, and actually living in it and enjoying in it without the guilt. Getting to that place of a natural security, a sustained peace, and a fulfilled heart and spirit. And Joe, I'm really, really good at what I do. So even if you're not ready to work with me today, that's fine. I ain't gonna force you, but I would love if you joined my email list, because in my weekly emails, you of course get to know me better, but I also get to know you better. It's a party in the inbox. And I want you to be able to have a chance to understand me better, my story, my philosophies, my frameworks, and all the like. So go look at the show notes, take the quiz so you can get your relationship personality type, and you'll be added to my email list so you can stay in the loop and you can get the content directly in your inbox, especially designed for better understanding yourself and how to connect and relate to the world around you as a Black and neurodivergent human. Future you will thank you for it. But all right, my friends, that is our episode for today, and I'll see you next week. Bye, friends. And as always, stay pleased. Thanks for joining me for this episode of The Pleasure Priority. I hope that when you see things can be better, you're inspired to do better. Because remember, you deserve nothing less than an abundance of joy, fulfillment, and all the peaceful good vibes. If you love this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Oh, and hey, make sure you're on my email list for more tips, laughs, story times, community, and all things pleasure. So until next time, keep living life on your terms because settling is for the birds. All right, stay pleased, my friends. I'll see you soon.